There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox, and a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to, but the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling, and you take him for a...
For years, we've seen the left use the plight of black and brown people for their political gain. They've passed or tried to normalize so many agendas on the backs of black people. Pregnancy terminations, Section 8 and welfare, the feminist movement, the alphabet mafia movement, and now the quote-unquote climate change agenda affects black people at a higher clip than any other race of people in this country. Make that make sense. Today, we're going to check out what Brother Thomas Sowell has to say about this situation and why is it that black people continue to fall for the okie doke. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, drop me a comment down below. I appreciate all the love and support. And without further ado, let's go.
See, everybody depends on black folk being ignorant. And we seldom disappoint. You're not going to like me now. Go on and grab your purse because you're going to get mad and want to leave. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth. Every time they try to pass something, they make it about race. What you mean? A particular party wanted, and they have it in their platform, just read it, they 100% support same-sex marriage. 100%. Now, they wanted some legislation passed, and they wanted favorable coverage, and they wanted to get black folk on board. How do you get black people on board? Simple. We're out for the rights of the trans community, and we're also for protecting interracial marriage. Now, who's been challenging interracial marriages? We know that nobody has challenged interracial marriages. Right. If you don't believe me, ask the NBA players, the NFL players, Major League Baseball players, all them brothers marrying white women. Ain't nobody saying nothing about that. No one has challenged that. And they knew no one was challenging, but they know the way to get you fired up is just throw in race. They got black folk, they found out how to get black folk to cheer on the extermination of our own race. We cheer on the devastation of us. It's the most embarrassing thing in the world. It's the most embarrassing thing. It's a shame before God.
This Black History Month, I'm pleased to partner with OMH in advancing better health through better understanding for black communities. Climate change is having a disproportionate effect on the physical and mental health of black communities. Black Americans are more likely than white Americans to live in areas and housing that increase their susceptibility to climate-related health issues. And 65% of black Americans report feeling anxious about climate change's impact. Through our Office of Climate Change and Health Equity and the Office of Environmental Justice, we're working with providers and community leaders to identify innovative approaches that empower communities to address the health consequences linked to climate change.
Years ago, when Jack Greenberg left the NAACP Legal Defense Fund to become a professor at Columbia University, he announced that he was going to make it a point to hire a black secretary at Columbia. This would, of course, make whomever he hired be seen as a token black, rather than as someone selected on the basis of competence. This reminded me of the first time I went to Milton Friedman's office when I was a graduate student at the University of Chicago back in 1960, and I noticed that he had a black secretary. This was 4 years before the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and there was no such thing as affirmative action. Milton Friedman had the same black secretary decades later when he moved to the Hoover Institution, and she was respected as one of the best secretaries around. When I mentioned to someone at the Hoover Institution that I was having a hard time finding a secretary who could handle a tough job in my absence, I was told that I needed someone like Milton Friedman's secretary, and that there were not many like her. At no time in all these years did I hear Milton Friedman mention, either publicly or privately, that he had a black secretary. William F. Buckley's wife once mentioned in passing, at dinner in her home, that she had been involved for years in working with a school in Harlem, but I never heard her or Bill Buckley ever say that publicly. Nor do conservatives who were in the civil rights marches in the South, back when that was dangerous, make that a big deal. For people on the left, however, blacks are trophies or mascots, and must therefore be put on display. Nowhere is that more true than in politics. The problem with being a mascot is that you are a symbol of someone else's significance or virtue. The actual well-being of a mascot is not the point. Liberals all across the country have not hesitated to destroy black neighborhoods in the name of urban renewal, often replacing working-class neighborhoods with upscale homes and pricey businesses, neither of which the former residents can afford. In academia, lower admission standards for black students are about having them as a visible presence, even if mismatching them with a particular college or university produces high dropout rates. The black students who don't make it are replaced by others, and when many of them don't make it either, there are still more others. The point is to have black faces on campus as mascots, symbolizing what great people there are running the college or university. Many, if not most, of the black students who do not make it at big-name, high-pressure institutions are perfectly qualified to succeed at the normal range of colleges and universities. Most white students would also punch out if admitted to schools for which they don't have the same qualifications as the other students, but nobody needs white mascots. Various empirical studies have indicated that blacks succeed best at institutions where there is little or no difference between their qualifications and the qualifications of the other students around them. This is not rocket science, but it is amazing how much effort and cleverness have gone into denying the obvious. A study by Professor Richard Sander of the UCLA Law School suggests that there may be fewer black lawyers as a result of affirmative action admissions to law schools that are a mismatch for the individuals admitted. Leaping to the defense of black criminals is another common practice among liberals who need black mascots. Most of the crimes committed by black criminals are committed against other blacks, but again, the actual well-being of mascots is not the point. Politicians who use blacks as mascots do not hesitate to throw blacks to the wolves for the benefit of the teachers' unions, the green zealots whose restrictions make housing unaffordable, or people who keep low-priced stores like Walmart out of their cities. Using human beings as mascots is not idealism. It is self-aggrandizement that is ugly in both its concept and its consequences.
Wow. A man dressed as a woman speaking to the black community about mental health. Is this where we are? How embarrassing has our country become? Thomas Sowell hit the nail on the head. Black mascots. And unfortunately, these people that are chosen are willing participants in the charade, in the foolishness. Think about your current black tokens, your current black mascots. Karine Jean-Pierre, who's probably going to go down in history as the worst White House press secretary. Kamala Harris, who's probably going to go down in history as the worst vice president in the United States. Cori Bush, one of the worst House of Representatives. The list goes on and on and on. Liberals never offer anything tangible. They only offer tokens. And if I put things in the great Thomas Sowell's words, they only offer black mascots. That is awful. It's past time people stop being willing participants in their charade, in their game. And like he said, There are liberals out there that will put people in schools, in programs they know they cannot succeed in, and they will not succeed in, all to check a box to say, we have X amount of black people, brown people, and women. Stop falling a victim to this foolishness. Stop it. I am so appreciative of Thomas Sowell. He is a true American treasure, but it's very unfortunate that people will not listen to him because he has a wealth of knowledge to share through his talks, through his books, through his interviews. And if people just took the time to listen to what he has to say and listen to him without bias, they could take this information, they could take his teachings, they could take what he has presented to the world and utilize it, and everyone's life would be better. Let me know what you all think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, drop me a comment down below. I appreciate all the love and support. Turn those notifications on so you get notified every time I drop a new video. Keep God first in your life, America first, and I'm going to catch up with you all next time. Peace.